Hello and welcome again. This is the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror the card game, doing the Half-Life custom campaign, and we're going to be diving into testing initiative, which is completely optional. Alright, you decide to dedicate time to investigating the strange signal that Dr. Carrasco had difficulty pinpointing. Through keen analysis, and in some cases just playing the odds, you are finally able to locate the source of the signal. In a remote and overgrown field, you find a plot of land just off of a disused dirt road. There's a little more than an empty parking lot with a single small shack in its center equipped with an antenna. You find the door unlocked, so you enter and begin to descend down the winding concrete stairs. For minutes you descend with no real indication of your position beyond abstract numbers painted on the wall of each landing. Is this floor 10, or are you 10 miles deep? Your trek continues until suddenly the sound of creaking metal and cracking structure causes you to freeze. Is there anything down here that could be worth being forever lost in a forgotten hellhole? You don't have a chance to retreat before the staircase beneath you shifts violently, tearing away from the wall. You grip onto the railing on instinct, but it's far too late. The collapsing staircase plummets down the shaft, carrying you with it. You don't remember losing consciousness, but your eyes suddenly snap open. You are on the hard paneled floor of a large room with sleek and sterile design. Strange lights and apparatus pepper the walls and ceiling, and an atmosphere of clinical cleanness pervades the room, offset by sections that have collapsed or are overgrown with thick, creeping ivy. Just what is this place? In immediate response to your question, a female voice sounds out all around you, calm but decidedly uncanny. Welcome to the Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center. Due to a lack of qualified testers following the total collapse of society, the center's criteria for qualification have been relaxed considerably. Congratulations on your approval. Elements of the room begin to shift and angling and extending in ways that suggest problems to be solved. Your test results will be used to further Aperture Science product development in regards to lateral thinking, physical mobility, crisis management skills, human mortality. The voice shifts to a distorted and threatening tone before it abruptly returns to the previous calm demeanor, and factoring truths about the universe that were previously considered to be unrealistic. Alright, so again, we are Yithian forces. These go away. Randomly take 9 of the 12 test chamber locations and put them to play. Remove each copy of test chamber from the game. Remove each other copy from play, and you begin at the center test chamber location. Alright, so here are 12 of them. Shuffle. Okay, and we start in the center one. All of them say the same thing. Test chamber, Aperture Laboratories. Which dangerous puzzle is waiting through this door? Attach the orange portal to the top left and blue portal to the bottom right. Done. We'll go ahead and read those as well. Orange portal, portal science bonded handheld portal device. Attached location is connected to each other location with a portal asset attached to it. If orange portal would leave play, instead return orange portal to your bonded cards. Same thing for the blue. Alright, put the GLaDOS enemy into play below the agenda deck. Put the companion cube asset into play below the act deck. GLaDOS, Advanced Personality Construct, Mechanical Elite, for Fight, for Evade, for Health, Retaliate, Alert. GLaDOS cannot be exhausted or damaged by players' actions or effects. The Enrichment Center would like to remind you that unauthorized use of dimensional displacement will result in immediate termination. Victory 2, hits for 1 and 1. Companion Cube, your new best friend. Item, Science, Ally. Action, test book or foot 0. This test gets +1 difficulty for each clue on your location. If you succeed, you can move to any adjacent location. If you fail, discard a card from your hand at random. Investigators at any location may activate this ability. This odd cube is both a tool to solve puzzles and a shoulder to cry on, so to speak. Okay. Set the handheld portal device and each core enemy aside, out of play. Okay. And then shuffle the remainder of the blah, 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 blah. We are good to go. All right. Scenario card. Skull is -1, -3 if there are no clues on your location. Cultist is -3. If you succeed, the next test on the companion cube this round is automatically successful. Tablet and Elder Thing, -2. If you fail, add a clue to your location from the token bank. And then we got the encounter deck. There are 2 agendas. Price of Progress. It's clear that whoever or whatever is managing this facility does not have your best interests at heart. The voice continues as you begin to form a plan. Aperture Science would like to remind you that any loss of appendage, bodily function, or sanity is the responsibility of the tester alone. In the likely event of your painful demise, the voice suddenly cuts out with an ominous buzz of static. Enemies may move to adjacent locations as if they were connected to their location 7, doomed to advance. Act 1A, there are 3 acts. Trial and error. They break in the announcement and it's short, and the voice continues. The purpose of these first tests is to evaluate your aptitude for problem solving, threat identification, and friendship. Each of these qualities can be determined through interactions with the Aperture Science weighted storage cube. Please proceed through the indicated passages until further objectives are presented. Objective: after an investigator enters a location with a portal asset attached, you advance. Okie dokie. Let me put a break here. Alright, so unfortunately I did make a mistake towards the end. Well, actually, it wasn't even towards the end. It was at the beginning, but I didn't catch it till towards the end. And I'll talk about that when I get to it again. But yeah, I'm just going to redo this. We're going to start in the middle, as always. And we'll take this down here. Oh, and Yithian forces. Everything else should be fine. Okay, let's go ahead and shuffle this and draw. Alright, don't care about the practice cards. 1, 2. Okay, not too shabby. Unfortunately, the pathfinders and shortcuts aren't super useful in this map, since you kind of have to rely on the cube to move around. Alright, deal to orange. Alright, this start is already looking favorable. Perfect. It's already better than my previous start. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into this. Test chamber. All right. Action test willpower 2. This test gets +4 difficulty. If there's a portal asset attached to this location, reduce the difficulty of this test by 2. If you succeed, you can place a horror on this test chamber. The tall room is split by a deep and jagged chasm, and you must steel your nerves to reach the other side. 3 shroud, 2 clues. All right. I'm going to start with Lily Chen. Lily Chen's going to go ahead and spend an action doing Stand Together, gain 2 resources, draw 2 cards. Gain 2 resources, draw 2 cards. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and do a Ever Vigilant. I'll spend 1 to get out Holy Rosary, spend 1 to get out Beat Cop. So now my stats are correct, and then I will spend 1 to get out Brandakathaga. Okay, and then my final action, I may as well just see if I can do this. I mean, right now you don't actually know what the placing horror part actually does, but since I already know that it does sound like something you need to do anyway, I might as well do it. So I'm going to do it. So I'm right now 5 to 6, because there's no portal asset here. I can go 6 to 6, 7 to 6, and then Minty Fan can go 8 to 6 with her ability and provide a deep knowledge on top of that. So that's 9 to 6. Good luck. There's clues here, so we're good to go. We do pass. I'm going to heal 1 horror because of the Fearless. And we'll put a horror on this location. Alright, already we're looking good. Okay. Go to Minty Fan. Min is going to spend 2 to go ahead and get out Medical Student and heal for 1 and 1. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to get out the Gravity Gun. And then I'm going to investigate this location. I will reduce the Shroud value by 1, so I'm now 4 to 2. Now commit at Unrelenting. Go 5 to 2. And draw 2 cards. I triggered both my At a Crossroads. Okay. So I have to immediately decide what to do with these. I'm going to go ahead and let Lily Chen draw 3 cards and lose an action next time. And to be honest, I'm going to go ahead and do that again. And she'll get her weakness. Okay, so she's going to have only 1 action next round. All right, so at least she's topped off. And then I pass the check, and this was an Elder Sign. I can put the skill card back into my hand after the skill ends. So release, grab this, get a clue. Honestly, that was pretty solid. Enemy phase, no enemies. Upkeep. Burden of Destiny. I will take a horror here and take a damage here. Can't flip back this round. Blah, 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 blah. Actually, instead of taking the damage, I'm going to flip my alignment to Spirit. It won't be able to flip this round, but next round it'll be good to go. Also, I'll have 1 less action. Or 2 less actions, sorry. Alright, Mythos. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this, and we'll get our first Doom. Githyan Collaborator. And a Lumi Megastructure. Not a problem. Okie dokie. So this location has 3 Shroud. I'll go ahead and increase the Shroud value to 4. And then I'm going to attack with the Gravity Gun. This will put us at 6 to 2. Okay, does 2 damage. I'll do it one more time. Kills it. Alright, and then so I'm right now 4 to 4. I'm going to go ahead and do a Winging It to bring it down to 4 to 3. I'll come in Unrelenting and use my ability, so I'll be 6 to 3. Draw 2 cards again. Passed just barely. So making sure. So I increased the Shroud value to 4 with the Gravity Gun, reduced it back down with Winging It, so it's 3 still. I had 4, got 5 because Unrelenting, and then I used my ability 6, and then I had -3, so 3 to 3. So I do pass. Alright, release all tokens. This gets discarded this time. I do get this clue this time. And we're kind of good to go. Lily Chen, I will go ahead and spend 1 resource to get out the Wolf Mask. And that is it. Enemy phase, upkeep. I didn't take any damage this round, so... Oh! I failed, actually. I forgot about the Lumi Megastructure. Actually, let's take a step back. So the Lumi Megastructure meant I had +1 already, so I didn't actually need to use the Gravity Gun to increase the Shroud, so I could have used it to reduce the Shroud and make the test easier after the fact. So I didn't need to increase it, and then I could have used Exhausted to reduce it and use the Winging at the same time. So I still passed the test. I just had to do it. I just had to take back that action. And that's just me because I forgot this thing existed. Okay. All right. But yeah, no damage was done, so Discipline will get refreshed. And then Mythos, we're at second Doom. Rocket Sentry, any adjacent location without another Rocket Sentry if possible. Mechanical, 4 fight, 2 evade, 2 health. At the end of the enemy phase, if Rocket Sentry is ready, it makes an attack against each investigator at an adjacent location. After you evade Rocket Sentry by 3 or more, deal 2 damage to an enemy at an adjacent location. It also hits for 2 damage. So make sure you're not engaged with it and double tap you. So I'm going to go ahead and put it over here. And then for you, personality construct, location without an investigator, hunter. During the enemy phase, personality construct's location is considered to be connected to each adjacent location. Okay. 3 fight, 2 evade, 3 health. During the it's just during the enemy phase. I'm not sure why it has this. I mean, I guess it's just to clarify the hunter keyword. That's my only guess. Location without an investigator. We'll just put it over here, I guess. All right. Investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and start with Lily Chen first. I'm going to spend 2 actions to get rid of self-destructive. And then I'm going to move. Well, not move. I'm going to activate the companion cube. I'll go 4 to 0. I pass. And we'll go down here. 3 shroud, 2 clues. Do action, book 2 test. It's the same thing as the other one, but it's book instead of willpower. If you succeed, place a word down. 1 spot is noticeably out of place, but it will take some creative thinking to get to it. Okay. Minty fan, I'll go ahead and spend an action to go ahead and do the companion cube. I'll do book, so it'll be 4 to 0. I pass, I go down here. Alright, next I will go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and do the activate test here. So right now I'm 4 to 6. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 to do a practice makes perfect. Search top 9. Only 1 practice card. Alright, well, we'll grab the deduction. So that puts us at 6 to 6. And then I'm going to go 9 to 6. I pass. This will go in my hand. This is going to give me 2 cards. Get our king in yellow. And we get to put a whore on this. Okay. Last action, I am going to go ahead and investigate. I'm going to commit a deduction, a survey of the area, and a eureka, and I'll use my ability. So that's 3 skill cards and 6 symbols, so I'm 10 to 3. We pass. We're going to get 2 clues. And I get to look at the top 3. I will go ahead and grab this we'll grab the sharp vision. This gets discarded. Actually, it'll be in this order. Okay. That is everybody. Go to enemy phase. This guy's going to come down. Upkeep. And Mythos. Oh, I keep forgetting about the looming megastructure. I still did not fail by that. I definitely didn't fail any test, so it doesn't matter. It's only affecting the shroud value as well. Alright, this will be our 3rd doom? Yeah, 3rd doom. Obtuse puzzles. Put obtuse puzzles into play next to the agenda deck. After you fail a skill test or any action printed on a scenario card, take 1 damage or 1 horror. After an investigator succeeds the test on a companion cube by 4 or more, you discard obtuse puzzles. Who designed this mess? Who knows? As for you, unforeseen evils. I will take 1 consequence. All right. I figure we're going to need every round because I've played Portal before. All right, investigation. I'm going to start with Minty Fan. I'm going to spend an action to go ahead and get rid of the looming megastructure. It only takes 1 because there's no clues here. Second action, I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to get the sound support out. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and use Companion Cube to move. I'm 4 to 0. And I'm not going to do any other modifiers. 4 to 0. Alright, I do pass. It's not enough to get rid of this thing, though. I'm going to go ahead and move over to here. This is a location with a portal, but I'll read about this first. 3 shroud, 2 clues. It's a foot test, same thing as before. But we do have a portal here, so the difficulty is only 4, not 6. Several spots in this room are in plain view, but incredibly difficult to reach. Alright. We advance. Dimensional clearance. You proceed apprehensively through the hazardous test rooms until you enter one with 2 noticeable differences. On a small pedestal in the center of the room sits a high-tech device. On the far wall behind it, a glowing hole opens up into an entirely different chamber. The voice suddenly blares around you once more. You are now in possession of the Aperture Science handheld portal device. With it, you can create your own portals, which will allow you to complete more complex tests. The Enrichment Center is not responsible for any significant loss which may occur from improper operation of the device. The nearest investigator to a portal asset immediately takes control of the handheld portal device. For the remainder of the scenario, this asset doesn't take up any slots, which is good. Handheld portal device. So this is where I made the mistake. So the lightning bolt, it's item tool science. It usually takes a hand slot, but not in this case. It's 2 cost and 2 wilds as a commit. Lightning bolt, during your turn, search your bonded cards in all play areas for a portal asset and attach it to your location or a connecting location. So the mistake is the during your turn part. So you can't, even though it's a lightning bolt, you can only do it during your turn, which means you can't do, I did it during like the enemy phase pretty early on because I was trying to like move people, because you can also move people with it with the reaction. After a portal asset is attached to a location, exhaust handheld portal device. Choose an investigator or non-elite enemy at a location with a portal asset attached. Disengage the chosen card from all other cards and move it directly to another location with a portal asset attached. Alright. So, I am going to go ahead and use the portal device. Oh, actually, I need to read the next thing. Thinking with portals. The test overseer may have given you this device to satisfy their own agenda, but you didn't come down here to risk your life pointlessly. There must be some way to get out of the confined test chambers, and this new device should make that a simpler task. Adjacent locations are considered to be connected for the lightning bolt ability on the handheld portal device. If there are horror tokens on 6 or more locations, you advance. Alright, I have no actions remaining. As a lightning bolt, I will move the orange portal down to here. As a reaction, I will exhaust this to move Lily Chen over. And then as a lightning bolt, I'm going to move the orange portal over to here, because as far as I can tell, there's no limit. Alright, that is it on that front. Goes to Lily Chen. So there's a portal here, so I am going to go ahead and do the foot test. I'm currently 4-4. I'll use a wolf mask to go 6-4, and I will go ahead and commit a strong arm to go 7-4. We pass. We get to place a horror here. Alright. Next, I will go ahead and spend 2 to get out my other Brand of Cthulhu. And then last action, I am going to go ahead and move, because these portals are connected. Alright. 2 shroud, 2 clues. Action, investigators at this location choose and discard a total of 8 cards from their hands as a group. Place 1 horror on this test chamber. If there's a portal asset attached, you can reduce this down to 4 cards. The machinery here is complex and will take some time to understand if you wish to make any use of it. Okie dokie. So yeah, with the clues do have some use in the future, but for the most part, we can kind of ignore most of them. And it does make things go a little bit faster. Enemy phase, he's going to come after us. Upkeep. Deep knowledge, upkeep. True awakening. 4th doom. Radiation spike. And a sentry turret. Any 3 fight, 1 evade, 1 health, mechanical. Spawns in any adjacent location without another sentry turret if possible. At the end of the enemy phase, if sentry turret is ready, it makes an attack against each investigator at an adjacent location. Are you still there? Hits for 1 damage. We'll go ahead and put it over here. It's adjacent. It doesn't say anything about investigator, so I'll put it with Menti Fan. All right. Investigation phase. Let's go ahead and get to work. I'll start with Menti Fan. I'm going to go ahead and evade using the gravity gun. puts me at, using book, I'm going to be 5 to 1. Alright, and it does 1 damage as well as evade, so it kills it. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop a shortcut to move up to here. And then we will go ahead and activate this. This does have a portal on it, so we need to discard 4 cards as a group. So I'll discard this Deep Knowledge. And honestly, we can go ahead and discard this Nautical Charts. And then over here, we can discard this Spectral Razor. And we can discard this Defiance, I think. Yeah, I'm okay with discarding the Defiance. Okay, and this will put a horror on this. Okay, next, as a Lightning Bolt, I will go ahead and move this portal up to here. And then I will exhaust the handheld portal device to move Minty Fan to here. Two clues. Action. Investigators at this location can take 4 total damage as a group. Place 1 horror on this chamber. If there's a portal asset attached to this location, reduce the damage required down to 2. The only way to a secluded spot is barred by damaging lasers. You'll have to take this one on the chin. Alright, I still have an action remaining. Yeah, it just says non-elite enemy or an investigator. So as long as I'm at a as long as it's at a location to do the thing. Got it. So last action, I will go ahead and activate this location. I have to take 2 damage. I will take 1 damage on this, and I'll have Minty Fan take 1 damage. All right, we're already at. We already have 5. We already have 5 horror tokens done. Mainly because I'm not trying to grab as many clues this time around. Lily Chen. Yeah, unfortunately our options now are kind of limited. Let's go ahead and move you as an action. And then as an action, I am going to go ahead and get this emergency cache out of the way. Get 3. Oh, actually, no, don't do that. Because that's going to hurt me because of radiation spike. I think instead, I can try moving with the companion cube. I'll be 4 to 2. But it would be awesome. Yeah, I'll go ahead and try it. I'll go 4 to 2. Minty Fan will commit a Pathfinder and use her ability with it. So that brings me up to 6 to 2. The difficulty is based off the number of clues, essentially. So yeah, 6 to 2. We do pass, but not enough to get rid of this, unfortunately. And we'll move over here. So I moved up, moved over. Investigators at this your location can place 2 clues on their 2 of their clues on this location as a group. Place 1 horror on this test chamber. If there is a portal asset attached to this location, you may spend the clues instead of placing them on this location. The equipment in the chamber is functional, but their functions don't seem particularly obvious. Okay. Last action, I'm just going to draw a card. Okay. Enemy phase moves up. Upkeep. Hey, it's you. But now you actually take up an ally slot. Okay, you get discarded. Fifth Doom. Personality construct, location without an investigator. We'll put you down here. This is the first time I've actually seen these guys. These are kind of neat. Technophobia. 5 to 4. Five to 4, huh? Not much I can do about that. We'll just go 5 to 4. We passed, but I will take 1 horror because of the I don't have any clues. So I will put that on the beat cop. All right, investigation phase. I'll start with Minty Fan. I'm going to go ahead and use the handheld portal device, lightning bolt, go here, and then reaction, exhaust, go here. And then action, I will spin 2 clues, because it has a portal now, to go ahead and place a horror on it. Alright, that is 6 tokens. The rat in the walls. In the difficult to reach corners of the test chambers, you discover places where the wall panels have been pried open to reveal small enclaves, and each mad scribblings and murals splotch the walls haphazardly, showing in a way the true nature of the facility. The mysterious overseer GLaDOS, as the writings refer to her, is an artificial entity created by Aperture Science technicians. Her programming devolved, and she murdered them out of twisted reasoning to satisfy her directive for scientific progress. GLaDOS's operations were made possible by connected AI cores, and she was shut down once before by a resourceful test subject who managed to destroy those cores. If GLaDOS is active again, then you can only assume that the other cores were somehow connected to her. Shuffle the 4 set-aside core enemies and put each one into play at a different Aperture Laboratories location without an investigator. So all of these are Aperture Laboratory locations. I want to go ahead and do these face down. So any location that doesn't have one, we'll put one here, put one here, put one here. And we'll put one all the way down here. We'll flip these over. Eldritch Core, Mechanical Core Elite, 4 health, aloof, cannot be engaged. As an action, you can test willpower or combat 3. You succeed, you deal 3 damage. If you succeed by 3 or more, you do another damage. Forced, after Eldritch Core is defeated, deal 1 damage to GLaDOS. We're rent with the screams of the nightmare. Victory 0. Paranoia Core, similar as before, but the action, you do an evade against GLaDOS herself, which she does have stats. If you succeed, you will deal 2 damage to the Paranoia Core. And then once it's defeated, it does the damage. Did they send you? Don't deny it. Violence Core. Same thing, but combat. And you'll deal the actual attack damage of the combat to the Violence Core. Burn you alive, hack you to pieces. And then over here we have the Mastermind Core. You can test book or foot. And if you succeed by a lot, you do additional damage. But I knew that you would know that I suspected that. Alright, Force of Personality. As you begin to hunt for the hidden cores, GLaDOS's voice echoes around you once again. I know what you're trying to do. You're standing in the way of progress. Do you hate science? She hated science too. And where is she now? Probably dead somewhere. Without any science to help her, testing is the only way to save lives, like yours. Alright, as an action, you can spin 2 clues as a group to do a damage to a core that doesn't provoke an attack opportunity. So that's another way to deal with the cores if your stats don't really work for this. Alright. And it's still Minty Fan's turn. Okay. Definitely would like to deal with the core over here at some point. And then the one over here is just evading. The other way you can hit these cores, of course, is you can use the Rocket Sentry, just like in the game. You just have to go and evade it. Alright, my options are admittedly a little limited. I do want to still keep getting these, I do want to see if I can get all the rooms have horror on them. Because so far, like, when there's situations where you can go above and beyond, it sometimes it seems to like to reward you. That being said, we have a lot of stuff in our way. Yeah, at the very least, I need to go and deal with the core behind us. So let's do that. I mean, it's either that or I investigate here, but that's not really a thing. Yeah, let's go back. I'll move using the portals to get to here. And then I am going to go ahead and investigate this location using sharp vision. So we'll be 7 to 2. We pass. We get both clues. All right. Lily Chen. I'm going to go ahead and move her back as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a stand together. 2 resources, draw 2 cards. 2 resources, draw 2 cards. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and spend 4 to get out the Runic Axe. Okay. Enemy phase, they're coming. They hit for 1 and 1. All right, upkeep. Another sharp vision, upkeep. Burden of Destiny. I will go ahead and take the 1 and 1. And since I do have sound support in the same location, I'll put a horror on it. And I am going to go ahead and... Cannot be engaged, but you can still do damage other ways. Yeah, actually, you know what? Before the end of my turn, I'll go ahead and do a damage to this thing using this. Oop. Because that'll speed things along. In any case, I'll take the damage on Lily Chen herself. And that works on that front, and this gets discarded. Okay. Mythos. 6 doom. Yithian Supervisor. Okay, tablets now are worse. They're -3s now. Any location empty if possible. We'll put it... Ooh, it has to be empty. Ooh, that's all the way down here. Yep, no choice. We'll have to put it down here. Okay. Getting to that's going to be a problem. And then we got a sentry turret. We'll put it over here. Okay. Investigation phase. We got things to do. Alright, so this should have unexhausted during her upkeep. I will heal a damage off of this. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to do the Mastermind Core here. I'm going to commit a Perception, which will put us at 7 to 3, and an Unrelenting, and I'm going to use my ability, so that's going to bring me up to 9 to 3. I will seal cards, draw 2 cards. Also, during the test, I will go ahead and take a damage on the Beat Cup to do a damage to this thing. And here we go. Skull is -3 because it's no clues. So I was at 4, 7, 8, and our ability is 9, so that brings it to 6. I beat it by 3 or more, so it does 2 damage. So this thing will die. And we'll put 1 damage on GLaDOS. Okay. I succeeded by 3 or more. Release all tokens. I get to draw 2 cards. Okay. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and use the portal device. Move this orange portal to here. Exhaust it to move Lily Chen down here. Get engaged by this thing. And then I'm going to shortcut to follow. Like so. Then I'm going to investigate this location with a sharp vision. This will make us 7 to 2. That's 5 to 2. So I get both clues. Okay. And then as a lightning bolt, because I can still do it even while it's exhausted, I'm going to go ahead and move a portal down to here. Or I could go the other way. I do have a gravity gun. I do know how to use it. And this thing hits for what, 2 damage? Yep. Let's move the portal. Yeah, we'll just move the portal to here. That'll be the plan. That sentry turret's going to be a problem. All right. Actually, yeah, that sentry turret's going to be a problem. All right, I'm going to put the portal down here. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and move down. Okay. Okay, next. We'll start with Lily Chen. I'll attack this thing using a Brandikathaga. We'll go 8 to 3. We pass. I'll spend 3 charges to kill it. Oh, also I did get engaged, so I can go ahead and grab an offering and put this back. You die. And then I will go ahead and I'll move down. And I think I will go ahead and take this opportunity to do a stick to the plan and merge the cache to get up to 8. Okay. Surprisingly, we have yet to fail on a scenario card, so that's good. Enemy phase. You go down. Actually, I can have it, as long as it's a direct route. Yep, I can put you there. Okay, and you don't move. Upkeep. Upkeep. All right. Mythos. We advance. Toxic Love. A crackle of static heralds the return of the overseer voice, this time immediately low, menacing, and distorted. You know, there's something missing from these tests. Others have done them before, or tried to do them, but they had an urgency that you don't have. I wonder if it was the neurotoxins. That's probably it. We won't get any science done if you don't go further than they did. So try not to die horribly. At least not right away. You can die horribly after a little while. For science. Every breath you take, the soft hiss emanating from the room vents lets you know that the overseer mean to kill you regardless of your performance. Deadly gas is being released into the complex in small doses, targeting wherever you and your companions happen to be. You've got to escape quickly. Enemy rules still the same, and then if you end your turn in the same location you began your turn at, you will take a damage or horror. You get to choose. 8 doom to advance. Chemical Flood. Alright, everyone's favorite. I am going to go ahead and Eye of Truth this, so that puts us at 6 to 3. We pass, and this will get set aside over here. Okay, and then over here. Unforeseen evil, more like Ward of Protection evils. Like so. Alright. Investigation phase. I'm going to start with Minty Fan. First, at the start of return, sound support will heal. I will go ahead and handheld portal device, orange portal over here, exhaust it to move Lily Chen over here and get engaged by this guy. And then I will proceed to let's see, how many do I have? I have 6. Yeah, I'll proceed to move. 1 second. Sorry about that. My cat was horking up something, so I was just making sure she was all right. And, you know, not horking stuff onto my bed or something. Okay, so I've moved, did the portal stuff. This place doesn't have any clues, so I could do a Companion cube move. The rocket sentry will blast me, but that's okay. I can live with being blasted. That is what my existence is meant for. So, 6 cards left. What do we have left for practice cards? Our perceptions are used. Deduction. There's a deduction in there. My survey the areas. Okay, there is a survey the area in there. There's a survey the area, a deduction, and that's about it. And I guess an analysis. Okay. So here's the plan. I'm going to go ahead and try to move, and I will. This location has 0 clues, so I can go 4 to 0. So I'll do that. 4 to 0. I pass. Not enough to get rid of it though. Move over to here. Okay. Action test fist 2. It gets so same thing as the other ones, but this one is just for combat. Okay. The room is partially collapsed. It will take some strength to reach the caved-in sections. Okay. Not a problem. I will then go ahead and just seeing how high I can get my roll going. I am going to go ahead and investigate. Actually, no, don't bother investigating. That won't help. Deal 2 damage to an adjacent location. So yeah, last action. Let's go ahead and just investigate this location. Actually, no, better. Better idea. Spend 2 clues, do 1 damage. Because of this ability here. Okay. Meanwhile, Lily Chen. Is that as a group, by the way? Yeah, as a group. Cool. So other people could do it. All right. All right, Lily Chen, you got things to do. I need to hit you as hard as I can. I'm going to go ahead and start with Branica Thugga. I'll go 8 to 3. 5 to 3, so that's still good. Spend 3 charges to do 3 damage. I will then proceed to attack. I will do Runic Axe. I will do Glory. So that'll put me at 7 to 3. I succeed, and I can auto-succeed a Companion Cube move. That's a thing. I go ahead and kill you, and I will recover 1 damage. All right. So I can move up to here, but I'll take 3 damage for that. But I think I will do that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move and auto-succeed the Companion Cube, which is actually really good because if it auto-succeeds, it treats the difficulty as 0, and I have 4 agility, so it's going to be passed by 4, which will get rid of this. So I'll move up here with my last action. Enemy phase. So I'm going to get hit. So we'll start with Lily Chen. There's a sentry turret and a rocket sentry. So I'm going to get hit for 2 and 1. Also, this guy's going to move down. So I'll take the 1 damage, and I'll deny existence the 2. And then Minty Fan's also going to get hit for 2 damage. I'll put 1 damage here and have the other one be taken by the medical student. Both characters did move from their original starting location, so none of them got gassed. Upkeep. Okay. Mythos. First Doom. Another obtuse puzzle. We just got rid of this. Radiation Spike. I'm fine with this for now. All right. They can fight and fight action against GLaDOS as if they were directly engaged with you. So it's different from this fight. It says specifically a fight action. So I can use my weapons because that's how it's worded. All right, investigation phase. Let's see what we can make happen here. Okay. We need to deal with this at one point, but that's fine. Okay, so first action, I'm going to spend 2 clues to do a damage. And then lightning bolt, move a blue portal to here, and then an orange portal to here, and then use my reaction to move to here. This thing will be engaged with me. One shroud, 2 clues. Action investigator location can spend 6 total supplies, ammos, charges, and secrets among assets they control. Place 1 horror on the test chamber. If there's a portal asset, you can reduce this down by 2. The ceiling is full of loose panels that may be knocked down for use as makeshift ramps or platforms for you. So the big issue here is Lily Chen needs to take care of these 2 chambers, which is fine. Next, I'm going to go ahead and evade the Eldritch Core. Or not the Eldritch Core. I'm going to evade the Rocket Sentry. Right now I am 2 to 2. Survey the area will make it 6 to 2. And then I can go 7 to 2. And I can go 8 to 2. Let's see. Yeah, I can go 8 to 2 with analysis. So 8 to 2, if I get the -3, I still pass by 3, which will be enough to blow up one of these things. Alright, so yeah, I was at 2. I got 4 from survey the area, 5 from my ability, 6 from this. Or sorry, I was at 2, go up to 6, 7, 8, and then -3 is 5. 5 to 2, I beat it by 3 or more. It does get evaded. Also, I could have evaded using the gravity gun. That would have been smarter. But that's okay. I actually don't want to kill this thing. So I can do 2 damage to an adjacent enemy, to an enemy at an adjacent location. I will pick the Eldritch Core, which will kill it, and do a damage. Okay. And I didn't do any events, so we're good on that front. I'll go ahead and spend an action to go ahead and spend 2 to go ahead and get out Hyunjia. And we'll be good to go for next time. Okay. Meanwhile, Lily Chen needs to beat up a violence score. Oh, actually, before the end of Minty Fan's turn, I will go ahead and move the blue portal to here as a lightning bolt. Okay, Lily Chen, you have things to do. I'm going to go ahead and do Branded Kathuga for this violence core, so I'll be 8 to 4. I pass, even with the -3. I will spend all charges to do 3 damage, and then I'll use the Beat Cop to finish it off. Okay. Then I am going to move using the portal to get to here. And then I'm going to activate this location. I have to spend 4 charges, secrets, ammo, or supplies. I'll spend 2 charges from this. Actually, screw it. I'll spend all the charges off this. That's what it's here for. And that'll put a horror on this. Like so. Okay. Looking pretty good. So I need to get her down here to do the test chamber, which should be easy enough. Even without a portal, I can pretty safely do it. Enemy phase, this guy's not going to do anything. Also, we didn't stay at the same location, so we're good on that front. I don't think I did any events, so yeah, we don't get hit zapped by this thing. It didn't fail any checks. This moves over. Upkeep, this will re-engage. I'll have Minty Fan handle this. And upkeep. Okay. Upkeep. Mythos. This goes away. Second doom. Unforeseen evils. I'll put a doom down. We're kind of okay. Over here. Sentry turret has to be adjacent. We'll put it over here. Okay. Investigation phase. I need to start with Minty Fan. I'm going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt, move this portal down to here, and then Exhausted to move Lily Chen down here. I will then go ahead and use the portal device, the gravity gun, to try to evade this guy. This location has 1 shroud, so this is going to be a 6-2. I'll do a practice makes perfect. Go 8-2. So should be good to go on that. I pass. That's 5-2. So he's evaded. He's going to take 1 damage because of the portal gun. And this will go in my hand. And I'll have 2 damage go to this guy. Okay. That actually works out really well. Because now I can go, as an action, I can move up to here with an auto success on the companion cube. And as long as I commit, it's a book test, right? Yeah, so it's going to be a 5-2 test. Better idea. I'm going to go ahead and investigate first and get these clues off this. So I will commit this deduction. 7-1. Good to go. Get both clues. Then I'll move. And this will be an auto success. So I'll pass by 5 and get rid of this. I am going to get hit by the sentry turret. Also, I should have healed on the sound support. Okay. 1 shroud, 2 clues. An action, investigators at this location can choose and discard 4 assets they control as a group. Place 1 horror on this chest chamber. If there is a portal asset attached to this location, you can reduce it down to 2. Part of the room is guarded by complex defenses that might be circumvented with a little sacrifice. Okay. Lily Chen. So Lily Chen is going to activate this location. So it has a portal, so it's going to be 6-2. I'll commit an overpower and go 8-2. We pass. I draw a card. And then I'm just going to move twice. Move here. And then I have to do a companion cube. So I'll go 4-0. We pass. We go up to there. Cool. All right. Enemy phase. So this hits, makes an attack against each investigator at an adjacent location. So 1 damage to this. Actually, I will put a damage on Hyunjia, and then I can actually tank for other people with the sound support, and I'll take Lily Chen's damage as well. This is not going to do any damage because it was exhausted. This thing is going to keep chasing us. We'll send it up this way. Okay. Upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos. 4 out of 8. Insidious Experiments. So we'll add a tablet. Technophobia. This location has 1 shroud, so I'm 5 to 1. I pass. I will still take 1 horror because I have no clues, which I'll put on the sound support because we are together like a family. All right, investigation phase. Okie dokie. So we can do evade actions to deal with this. But first, we can do the investigator's action here. We can choose and discard up to 2 assets you control as a group. I'll discard this empty Branded Kathuga. And the Runic Axe. Alright, all test chambers have been completed. Next, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to evade the Paranoia Core. Actually, better at, I'm not going to even evade it. I can spin clues as a group here. So I will spend 2 of Minty Fan's clues to do 1 damage. And last action, I will do it again. That's 4 damage. That's a dead core and a dead GLaDOS. We advance. "404, core not found. As you destroy each of the bizarre cores in turn, GLaDOS's commentary becomes more and more aggressive, still speaking calmly, but going into great detail about your worthlessness and the horrible end you are working toward. You do your best to block out the disturbing words and finally break the last core. The facility shakes violently, alarms blaring as systems go haywire and explode. You dodge the falling debris as GLaDOS' voice sputters out over the Endocrine one final time, more warped than ever. You murdered me, and I won't forget that. Resolution 2. So yeah, hopefully we did this all correctly. Like I said, I had to restart because I definitely caught one of the things I did wrong. But yeah, this thing, as far as I can tell, has no limit on the portals, which definitely makes things... I think it does seem to work that way because, honestly, we only had 4 rounds left, which is a lot of rounds, but that's also because these decks are pretty stacked at this point. So let's go ahead and continue. Oh, I reset all that. Okay. Resolution 2. Okay. As the test chambers steadily collapse, the expansive back rooms open up, giving you a chance to escape. The strange portal gun gives you a tremendous advantage in circumventing broken catwalks and tons of debris blocking your exit. At last, you return to the stairwell you first entered by, and with a careful placed portal, you are able to ascend hundreds of feet in a single step. The ground still rumbles and rocks as you burst from the door back out into the abandoned lot. Smoke pours steadily behind you, and the sound of deep explosions continue for some time. Breathlessly, you collapse onto the weather tarmac to recover. As you rest, you mull over several questions about the nature of Aperture Labs and the homicidal computer running it. Was it always a part of this future, or was it another addition from a parallel reality? The presence of the alien agents tells you that it was at least a mystery to the Combine as much as it was to you. You just hope that they weren't able to learn anything from the site before it collapses. Record that GLaDOS was shut down. You monster. Got to spell it correctly. There we go. Resolution 3. Dr. Carrasco will no doubt be interested in the truth about the strange signal and the events that transpired in the lethal facility, but you could do with a little less science right now. The future has already strained your mental state, and you can only hope that your actions here were worth the additional stress. Each investigator earns experience equal to victory X, value of each card in the victory display. I believe it's 3. 3. And then, of course, a 4th one for Lily Chen, putting her at 40. 5 more experience, and she'll get our last discipline and weakness. If an investigator took control of the handheld portal device during the scenario, any investigator may add that card to their deck. This card does not counter their sides. I'll take it. More than likely, I usually end up not using it, simply because it's I only have so many hand slots. And then if I've completed everything, we just go straight to scenario 5, convergent problem. So let's go ahead and spend the XP we have. Unfortunately, we do not have enough for another Eye of Truth, which is a little unfortunate. So I think we will go ahead and replace one of our deep knowledges with this. We did get to a point where we're actually low on cards in our hand. So we'll spend 4 XP and do that. Good to go on that front. And then over here, geez. 4 experience. I mean, getting another True Awakening would be nice. So I think we only have 1 Fearless left in the deck. Yep. Alright, we'll get rid of a Fearless and get another True Awakening. That's going to cost us 3. And then I will use it down the rabbit hole. See, I have, yep, I can get Hunt. Also, that entire time I had Script Weaver, but I didn't remember to actually use Script Weaver. But that's okay. We didn't actually rely on the, I think we only used the Runic Axe twice. I think we only used it once, actually. Everything else was Branded Cthulhu time. Alright, I do still have 1 experience remaining because that costs 0. I'm going to go ahead and start upgrading. So the things we have remaining to upgrade. For 1 experience, we can upgrade either Holy Rosary or our Overpowers. I think I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the Overpower. That feels like it has better uses. Now it costs 1 experience because of down the rabbit hole. So good to go on that front. All right. So with that, we are good to go. So next time we will be going back to the main plot of the convergent problems and kind of go from there. We do have some consequences now. I'm going to gradually kind of piss off the G-Man because that's something I haven't done before. And yeah, I think we're good to go. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any victory. Yeah, I think it only has 3 because it's an optional thing. All right. So with all that said and done, I am the Depressed Dior. This was Arkham Horror the Card Game doing Half-Life custom campaign with Minty Fan and Lily Chen. I'll see you guys next time.